He's not loyal to a flag or a country or any set of ideals. He trades blood for money. He's your new best friend.
Hey, welcome back lads, and a happy new year. So that means it's time for us to talk about Call of Duty 2022, which we already know is gonna be Modern Warfare 2, right? And details about this game have already leaked like a couple of times on multiple different occasions, so I kind of wanted to take everything that we know about the game and put it together into one video. Pretty epic, pretty cool, right? So we are kicking the year off with a bang, and let's not waste any more time and get into it. So the first details we actually heard about COD 2022 were leaked back in the past September, when an online games database from Nvidia leaked an unreleased Call of Duty game with the developers being listed as Infinity Ward, right, the team behind the Modern Warfare series. The database had the game under a codename being Project Cortez, and that all sparked the news site Video Games Chronicles, or VGC, to release some exclusive information that they had, saying that the game will focus around a covert war against Colombian cartels, and the story, right, has gone in a completely new direction compared to what we expected after Modern Warfare 2019 and the events that happened in Verdansk. So now we're going to, I don't know what you want to call it, South America, Latin America, whatever. And that is trusted info from a credible source, because VGC were the first people to tell us about Vanguard and the Pacific Warzone map, so yeah, it's good info. And while reporting on this exact same stuff, the most famous COD site, Charlie Intel, news site that is, had an interesting comment. They said, from everything that they have heard and whispers about the game, is it's gonna be incredible. So hopefully that's not a lie, but if we fast forward a couple of months to November, VGC released another article that had a lot more like specific details about the game's campaign, multiplayer, the new third mode, and even the plans for Warzone, so all of a sudden it got kinda juicy and spicy in here. They say the campaign will be a grittier version of the last Modern Warfare, which, not gonna lie, I swear we hear that every year, that the campaign will be gritty and realistic, and sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, but of course the main characters of Task Force 141 will return, like Captain Price, Ghost, Alex, Farah, Nikolai, and the boys. Not only the grittiness, but the realism also seems to be taken to the next level, where they've overhauled the AI enemies with more realistic death animations, gore, weapon jamming mechanics, and such. So I hope that the weapon jamming just stays in the campaign and not multiplayer, can you imagine that? And talking about returning, it's no surprise that the multiplayer is set to bring back a load of the maps from the original Modern Warfare 2, along with some other stuff like weapons and just stuff, they say. So yeah, essentially this will replace the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remaster that never actually released, but at the same time it is an entirely new game. Just some of the content from the original Modern Warfare 2, a lot of it, is gonna return. I mean, is it even news? Is it newsworthy to say that the operator system is reported to come back and you'll be able to play as campaign characters in the multiplayer and Warzone? Nah, that's not even news, man. So there is a plan to introduce a new Warzone map that will feature many locations and maps from the original Modern Warfare 2 game, and the locations will even be like expanded and conjoined together. The likes of Favela, Terminal, Quarry, and Afghan are said to be part of the map, and the map will also be used in the third mode, kind of like how Verdansk was in Spec Ops before Warzone even released. And yeah, the new mode is actually DMZ, we've talked about it, right, where it's kind of a raid mode similar to Escape from Tarkov, so there are squads of players like Battle Royale, but there are also enemies and bosses and stuff along those lines. So it's not exactly like a Battle Royale, but there are similarities with, you know, it being like a one life high stakes mode with looting and other objectives to complete, and the end goal is to successfully exfil to keep the loot. And the mode has apparently been in development for about 4 years at this point and was cut from the last Modern Warfare, so at the very least, this mode is not going to be like an afterthought or a complete rush job. It is something that is going to be I know they've put a lot into it. And it is kind of interesting to see that most of the details we have about the game are actually about this DMZ mode, so I don't really know if we're going to call it a side mode, and I don't know if that's being done on purpose by the sources or the leakers or whatever, that we know more about this mode than anything else, or maybe that's just because it is new, but that is about it. That is the general gist of things. So stay spicy, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.